Okay, so let's talk about something we've all probably wondered about. Why does someone you know just vanish? I mean, one day they're there, and the next, poof, they're gone. We're going to dive into this today, and it's way deeper than just ghosting. It's this powerful psychological thing called a boundary awakening. And trust me, it's a fascinating idea. Let's unpack what it's all about.
I'm pretty sure we've all seen this happen, right? Maybe it's happened to you. You're just left wondering, wait, what did I do? Was it something I said? Our first instinct is to label it, to call it ghosting. But what if it's not about being mean? What if there's a much bigger, more complex story happening just under the surface?
So what is actually going on here? Is someone just giving you the cold shoulder, calculated move to hurt you? Or is it something else entirely? Is it more like a defensive shield going up? This really gets to the core of it, the story we think is happening versus what's actually playing out inside someone's head. And what you're about to see is that the reality is way more complicated and honestly a lot more human than we usually think.
All right, this slide lays it all out. On the left, you've got our go-to assumption. We're kind of trained to see this sudden silence as a personal attack, right? It feels cold, it feels malicious, it's ghosting. But if you look over at the psychological reality on the right, the whole story flips. It stops being about hurting someone else and becomes an act of pure self-preservation. It's about someone being so overloaded, so completely overwhelmed, that their only option is to put up a wall.
This is what we mean by protection mode. Seriously, think of it like an emotional fortress. When your whole system is just under siege from stress and pressure, what do? You pull up the drawbridge and you bar the gates. It's not an attack, it's a defense. Can you imagine feeling so swamped that the only way to feel safe is to just shut everything down? I mean, haven't you ever felt that need to just disconnect for a little while?
So, what pushes a person to this point? Well, the source material points to two huge triggers. First, there's psychological overload. And this isn't just, a bad day. This is the weight of everything, all the demands, the emotional stress, piling up and up until your system is just screaming. Then there's betrayal sensitivity. This often comes from being hurt in the past. It's like your internal alarm system is set to high, seeing threats everywhere, and those two are connected. When you're already overloaded, you become way more sensitive to anything that even hints at betrayal.
And all of this, it leads us to the main event, this really powerful concept, the boundary awakening. Now, this isn't just about learning to say no a bit more often. It's a massive, seismic shift in how you see your own personal limits, and it's driven by a raw survival instinct. It's not really about pushing people away, it's about carving out a safe space for yourself when nothing else has worked.
Okay, let's be super clear on this. We usually think of relationships ending as this slow fade, right? A gradual drifting apart. That is not what we're talking about here. What happens in a boundary awakening is something way faster and way more final.
It is a sudden, clean break. It's like a circuit breaker in your house. When there's a huge power surge, the lights don't slowly dim. Nope, a switch flips, instantly cutting the connection to stop the whole system from getting fried. That's the boundary awakening. It's the moment someone realizes, maybe not even consciously, that the only way to stop a total meltdown is to cut the power.
So, a boundary awakening is that critical breaking point. I think we can all imagine what it feels like to be so overwhelmed you just can't take one more thing, one more conversation. When someone's at that point, they just don't have the energy to slowly fix every little boundary. The only option that feels possible is a total, complete reset. It's the last resort. It's survival.
Understanding this idea is so important because it changes how we react to things. It helps us have more compassion, not just for other people, but for ourselves too. For example, instead of getting mad at someone who's gone quiet, maybe we just send a simple message of support, with zero expectation of a reply. It also gives us a new way to look at our own needs, helping us spot the warning signs before we hit our own breaking point.
This quote right here, it just nails the whole idea. This isn't an act of aggression, but one of profound self-preservation. It reframes everything, doesn't it? So maybe the next time you see someone putting up that wall, the question isn't just, what did I do wrong? But also, what is this person trying to protect themselves from? And maybe, just maybe, how can we make it so people don't have to go to such extremes just to feel safe?
And that leaves us with this huge question, one of the biggest challenges of being a person in this crazy world. How do we balance that deep, real need to protect ourselves with our other deep, real need to connect with people? There's no simple answer, of course, but maybe we can all try to be a little more aware of other people's boundaries and a little braver about setting our own. Just understanding that,
Well, that's a really powerful place to start.